Hello, everybody, and welcome to Saturday's live stream. We got a lot of things to go over, so let's jump right in. But before we jump right into everything we're going to talk about, which is Gary changing and the different things that are going on with FTX or FTT token, a lot of different things that are going on with Near and Polygon and scaling up of Ethereum, also Cardano working with Polkadot. I just wanted to take the time to say congratulations for all the veterans out there. Happy Veterans Day. So me, as you guys know, I was in the military for 8 years or so. I was a combat medic. And I just want to say all the different people out there for Veterans Day, happy Veterans Day. Now I'm wearing my Marines shirt. I have a bunch of friends that are jarheads, but it doesn't really matter. Happy Veterans Day. And also, you may notice that the background looks a little bit different today. So I thought I would just give you guys a sneak peek. Instead of showing the pool all the time, this is what we see in the front. And this is just the studio that we have, which is detached from the actual house. So this is just a little peek behind the scenes. So let's just jump right in, shall we? And get into it. So today, the big thing was, and so far, it looks like I might be wrong on this one. And the things that I'm wrong about would, of course, be this Bitcoin spot ETF. Now, as you may know, I've been pretty vocal on the fact that I think that it will not be approved, especially by March. However, a lot of different experts will disagree with me because they are the experts. And they say that, no, it's a 90% chance it's going to happen. And I got to tell you, it's looking more and more that I will be wrong. And again, I would rather be wrong and rich than right and poor. So here's what we got, and here's how it looks like good old Gary is actually changing. So SEC is in talks with Grayscale for a Bitcoin ETF. And of course, this is after, see, Gary wouldn't have done this if he didn't take that big loss. And I shouldn't just say it's Gary. It's the entire SEC. Now, the SEC, they have 5 commissioners. 3 of those are Democrats, 2 are Republicans. Some people say it doesn't matter. I believe it does because people if you're vote along the party lines, I think that's what's going on here with Gary Gensler and how he is aligned with the White House and Biden. That's a political issue. This is a crypto digital asset Bitcoin channel, so I'm not going to get into that, but here's what we have. So the SEC is reportedly starting discussions with Grayscale Investments on converting its Bitcoin trust fund into a spot ETF. Again, Gary would not have made these provisions if he didn't take the big L in the loss in the court case recently. Now, that doesn't mean that it's automatic. It just means that he has to take a look at it for Grayscale and what they're trying to do, which is transfer their trust into a spot ETF. If they would have won, we would not be talking about this, but all the spoils go to the victors, and that will be Grayscale. So the ETF filing with the SEC on October 19th from Grayscale, if approved, the fund would be listed on the New York Stock Exchange on the ticker symbol GBTC. Thursday marked the start, and of course today is Saturday, so 2 days ago. Thursday marked the start of an 8-day period for the SEC to theoretically approve pending spot Bitcoin ETF applications. And if you don't know what this is all about, all the different Bitcoin spot ETFs from ARK to BlackRock, Bitwise, VanEck, everybody, Fidelity, Valkyrie, they could theoretically just mass approve them. And I think people have been talking about this ad nauseum, so I'm not going to tell you, you probably know this. When this happens, I think there'll be a pretty big push for the spot ETF, and we'll see what it comes down to. But a lot of people are saying this is going to happen before the end of the year, and some people saying that even if we miss these deadlines, which again, the next deadline would be ARK on November 11th. Then, of course, the next deadlines will be January of 2024, and the final ones will be March of 2024. So if we see that happen, you'll see a big, massive push. But I got to tell you, before this actually happens, we're going to see probably a little bit of a run-up as the price increases, as people speculate. But to me, this is good news if they are actually talking to Grayscale and working things along. Maybe they're looking at the actual application going, hey, maybe change this, maybe change that. Again, good news. So that's one example of Gary softening up. Here's another example. And I think this is a good example of how Gary's softening, but you have to look at who is doing the softening and who is behind the scenes. So FTT, the token for FTX, is up 65% after Gary Gensler hints that he's okay with it being restarted. First of all, I didn't even know this was even a thing. And when I heard about this, and I was on Twitter and people were talking about how great FTT was doing, I'm like, why the hell is FTT doing so well? This is a dead coin in my personal opinion. And over the last 7 days, you can see that it went from $1 and it peaked out at $5 in 7 days. So I know, like, I mean, people are really excited about like Bitcoin doing well over here. And then of course this Ethereum ETF, spot ETF maybe getting approved by BlackRock. And then of course the big ones being Solana up, you know, over 400% or 382% or whatever it is since the beginning of the year. But FTX trumps all of your tokens, all of them in 7 days. So what does that tell you about the market? The market is kind of irrational, but this is why. So SEC Chair Gary Gensler said he's opened the idea of restarting the exchange. Why would he do that? It's because of the people that are behind it. Price rally occurred a day after Gensler hinted there is a potential for a reboot of FTX by Tom Farley. Who's that? Farley's a former president of the New York Stock Exchange who is among the 3 top bidders for the bankrupt exchange. I got to tell you, that's an interesting prospect because of who it is. And I can see why Gary's like, you know what? We'll make that happen. This is what he said. This is what Gary told CNBC. We need to build the trust of investors in what you're doing and ensure that you're doing the proper disclosures and also that you're not commingling all these functions, trading against your customers, or using their crypto assets for your own purposes. And to be honest, to be completely transparent, Gary's right. Gary is 100% correct on what he's talking about here. And I have to agree with him. The problem is that Gary, in all of his wisdom and the things that he's been moving forward with, is that he's just a little too late in what he's actually doing. This is Gary. So far, Gary has protected you against staking with Kraken as he clamped down on what he wants to do, but everything else has been abysmal. And it's amazing to me how Gary keeps his job. I think there's like there's 3 people that can keep their job that I know of and be wrong all the time. 1 is a weatherman, 3 is a TA expert, and the last one, of course, will be Gary. So when I take a look at this, I'm like, it's amazing that Gary softens his stance, and good for him. And maybe he'll do something right, which would be to approve the spot ETF. But I'm not holding my breath, but we'll see how it is. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section. Again, amazing rally for FTT holders or you degens out there that are getting into it. Good for you guys. I don't care how you make a win. That's fine. Just remember this. I think this is a zero-sum game for FTT. All right. So that takes care of the SEC and the positivity. Now let's talk a little bit about gaming. Now on this channel, I'm always trying to look for the next big thing. I think we all are. And I think that gaming and gaming tokens are going to be that. And that's why I've had some of the experts come on, like I had Cary'a, I had Classy Games, I had J.ne from Banter on, and of course the Great Crypto Stash. And they gave you all of their assumptions about which tokens were going to run up. And I got to tell you, every single one of them were 100% correct. But this is just one of those things that makes me sit up and go, oh, okay, that there is adoption coming, and it's not just a flash in the pan. Roblox CEO teases allowing NFTs. Now, I had heard about this a day ago or so. Couldn't really do much. I had problems with my back, but I wanted to bring this to everybody's attention. Here's what we have and why, and I'm going to get to why this is important. If you are a parent, you know what Roblox is. And if you are one of the 70 million daily active users for Roblox, you know what Roblox is. And you know that, and we'll get into the actual revenue, and it's almost $1 billion. Crazy gaming, right? And we're going to compare that to movies and MP3s and everything else. Not to get off subject, the company's founder and CEO, David Baszucki, I think I said that right. If I did say it right, what a great name, Baszucki. He went on CNBC and he says, I want to highlight there's a bit of a dream here about objects and NFTs moving from platform to platform. He gave you a scenario of this. We do believe someday, for example, I used the fun use case that someday Elton John may come on Roblox and make really cool capes. And he'll sell them for charity. And we can imagine someday that those would go off platform as an NFT and possibly get sold off platform and then come back on the platform. Let me say it again. I'll just paraphrase. Elton John comes in, makes some capes or whatever he wants to do. He sells them as an NFT. He has control as a creator. They go off the chain into some other type of game or some other kind of metaverse. Maybe people over there resell them. They come back to the platform, people resell, and just reciprocate. So I think what we see here is that one of the biggest, largest platforms for gaming is finally getting to understand it. And I think once you see that, then a lot of the gamers who hate the term NFT maybe will change on it. I don't think NFT is a good term. I think we should use digital collectibles, but that's just me. And then to talk about why this is important, again, Roblox, 70 million daily active users. It generates 839.5 million in bookings. What the heck is that? Bookings are when users purchase Robux, an in-app currency. And that 839 million, that's a 20% increase from the same period a year ago. Here are their disclosures as far as their third quarter financial results. You can see that revenue was 713, bookings were 839. This is the thing that always confused me about gaming and Web3 gaming and why people get so ticked off about it. Because when we talk about it and we say that we want to use an in-game currency, whatever that is, whatever that crypto or that digital asset actually is. And I said to people, I say, if in Roblox you have Robux, if you know the game, you're a parent, you know what I'm talking about. You pay $20, you get $20 in Robux, and you can pay for whatever skins or whatever upgrades that you actually want to do. But once you're done with that, you are done with that. And as a parent, you're like, well, that's just money wasted, which is, you do everything for the kids, right? But what if you could put that money in and it could be like a skin of an NFT and you could sell that to somebody else later on when your kid's like, I don't want to play this anymore. You're like, well, great, let me get some of my money back. That's one of those things. And I always thought to myself, if we can do that in the game, then what's the difference between the in-game currency and a cryptocurrency that we control? To me, it made absolutely zero sense. But I mean, these are the things that the gamers get ticked off about, and I guess. So there is that. And then also, these games, one of the big hit pieces is that they suck and that they're boring and that they have horrible graphics. Well, here's a great game from Cornucopias. It's built on Cardano. And this is a friend of the show, Rob and Josh. And let me replay this. I play this game pretty easily. And we're gone are the times of like the Axie Infinity grinders. That was a long time ago. I think we need to upgrade what we're talking about here. So this is Cornucopias. There's a ton of different games like Big Time and Illuvium. Illuvium, one of their co-founders, will be on next week. And My Pet Hooligan and Shrapnel and all these different ones that are out there. They look good and they're going to be good and people are going to adopt them. Just going to take a little bit of time. And on top of that, you probably asking yourself, who are not a gamer, what does it have to do with me? It doesn't matter if you're a gamer or if you're not a gamer. Maybe there's something that you can invest into. And of course, gaming tokens, Illuvium, Ronin, Immutable X are up 50% or more. So when you're talking about some of your different tokens or cryptos that you got into, maybe take a look at these different assets. And why? I think it's because gaming is going to be big. Just look at how much bigger it is than books, film, and music. Video games themselves are almost $200 billion. This was in 2021. I'm sure it's more now. And it kind of dwarfs everything else. And if we break that down into which ones are the biggest, mobile, console, downloadable, and browser games, mobile is almost $100 billion. So when you take a look at, you wonder why Gala did that to mobile. It's probably why they did that. And the consoles and things like that. Again, this isn't that much. I think there's a lot of room to run. And if you're looking for something to maybe get into, there's a couple ways to do this. First of all, you can go to CoinGecko, click on categories, and then just find gaming. You can do a Command F or Control F and look for gaming, but click on gaming here. And you can see the top gainers as far as like which ones they are. Immutable, Axie, Gala, Illuvium, Steppen, Engine Coin, Wax, Ronin, Magic, Vulcan Forge. And look at these prices. I mean, these 50% in 7 days. That's not bad. 51% for Merit. I don't even know what Merit is. Gala up 30%, Sandbox up 20%, Immutable almost 39.6%. But for me, you can look at that and do it that way. There's a great website. I'm pretty biased about it. It's called Dan Teaches Crypto. Let me log in real quick. And if I've got a bunch of different videos like we talked about. If you go to module 7, and again, it's free. I don't even spam you. I just tell you when things are up. Got one from Yatsu, from Animoca Brands. This is Johnny Hustle. And you'll see right here, what's Johnny's top plays? Vulcan Forge, Mutable X, Echelon Prime, Gala. And go down here, stash this, pretty much the same thing. Kagi said pretty much the same thing. Ronin, Alluvium, Mutable X, Game Swift, Avagachi. All those ones are popping off right now. So if you're looking for which ones they are, take a look at that. Also, if you're not really into gaming, there's another trick you can do. When you go to categories, you can sort this out by market cap. And if you're looking for, like, again, this is from pretty degen-y stuff. If you're looking to be more risky, on the risky side, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just some guy talking to a computer and to you. And this is just be prepared to lose everything, right? Follow the rules. Everything is scam until proven otherwise. Don't invest more than you can afford to lose. It's all gone. Don't leave things on exchanges. Try not to use leverage and take profits along the way. Those are the rules. I think you know these. But anyhow, you look through here and just what interests you? Farming as a service? I don't care about that. Flooring protocol, fractionalized NFTs maybe. Again, very low market cap. Tourism? I didn't know there's a thing. Discord bots? Really? Huh. Guilds and scholarships? That's for the gamers. Maybe that. Look, 86% up for 7 days. Pretty good. Environment? If you're into those, that stuff. Options, meta governance, rebase tokens. My favorite, move to earn. You click on that and you see which one's the biggest gainers. Step in, sweat economy, 7 days, 14.5%, so on and so forth. Geno Pets. Oh, I played that game, 51%. That's a free game. And of course, my favorite, sweat economy. But anyway, there's a lot of options for you. There's ways to find these things. I'm just trying to give you the options. Tell me what you think in the comments and what the best way to do that. And then let's finish up with some other risky, not risky plays, other different altcoins. So everybody's been talking about Solana, and it's up majorly. Congratulations, all the Solana holders. I'm one of those myself. But there's also some other things to look at. And again, do the same thing. Just sort things by market cap. That's how I found Tencent a long time ago. So Solana and Tencent are crushing it. So Solana's up 428%. Tencent is 301%. ETH is up 117. Cardano's up 63%. Bitcoin up 139%. Again, pretty good stuff. Tencent is one of those riskier plays, just so everybody knows. It's a launch pad. I think it's, I've worked together with them in the past for Fame MMA and Everdome and what was the other one? Some other different projects. But this one really took a big beating. I think it's highly valued. And again, if I'm talking about it, let me be crystal clear about this one. If I'm talking about it, I own it. And you better believe I probably own a lot of it. So if you think that, oh, Rob's just talking about it because he's a good guy. No, Rob owns it because Rob believes in it. And they're going to be launching a couple different big titles. I think it's going to do pretty well. And again, 50 cents, that's pretty good. What's interesting to me about Tencent here, over 7 days, and I've been talking about this in my little group, did pretty well. Then a big drop off, and off we go. Again, things are very volatile. I think we just saw Bitcoin and Solana also take a drop off. But look at this, 14 days, 30 days, 90 days. It was like 20 cents, 60 cents. I mean, you could have just invested in the FTT, but whatever. I think there's a lot of room to run. Look at this, 180 days and then a year. Let me go max. I think it was at $6 at some point. Yeah, almost 6. So yeah, they weren't doing too much in the bear market. Now they're doing some launches. So just something to look at, something that Rob owns. And then lastly, more good news for the altcoin market. Near, again, I own it, so I'm talking about it. This is interesting. I always say, pay attention to the ones who build in the bear because they'll crush it in the bull, the blow off top of the bull. This is Ilya. He's the one of the co-founders of Near. Now he just stepped in as the CEO role again. And it looks like they are working with Polygon. So it's Near and Polygon working together for a finality layer for the Ethereum rollups. One thing I like about Near it's pretty fast, 100,000 transactions per second. Once they get everything up and running, because they're already doing parts of sharding. And once they get it to their next evolution, I think it's like 1 million transactions per second. So we'll see how that works out. But again, I think 100,000 is pretty damn good so far. They got fast finality, enables cross rollup within 3 seconds and 4,000 times more cheaply than the current options. And let me tell you, it is super cheap to use and super fast. And again, since they're working with Polygon, I see some pretty big things. On top of that, don't forget, Polkadot is working with Cardano. Polkadot and Cardano working together. That's going to be their partner chain for the new project called Midnight. And yes, us as a stake pool operator for Cardano, we are working diligently when we figure out exactly how this works, because Midnight won't come out for months and months. The development team is going for it right now. But if you stake with DNews, we're going to work extra hard to make sure that you get that airdrop from Midnight, which again, being built on Cardano, their substrate, or excuse me, Polkadot and their substrate. So interesting times as people start to work together. And then lastly, before we get into a little Q&A, congratulations to Celsius holders. I'm one of those included. Failed crypto lender Celsius Network has cleared to exit bankruptcy. That was put out a couple days ago. There is a Twitter account. If you want to find out about what's going on with Celsius, follow Simon Dixon or Aaron Bennett. But Celsius facts numbers, looks like this is, correct me in the comment section, but this is what we have. They state, have you ever wondered how much crypto you get back if you're a creditor with over $5,000 in Celsius? At today's prices, you should be getting around 51.4% in liquid crypto. This percentage is based on your total claim. As seen in the prices, your total recovery should be almost 80%. I think that's equity into the new company that's coming out. So we'll see. And then there was one part in here. Where did he say it? I don't know what I was looking for. Oh yeah, being all unstable is great news. He says you will still receive more exactly as everyone else, but you are indeed capped at 100% recovery. But if Bitcoin goes to 50K or ETH to 3K, then you won't receive more dollars. But if the price goes up, you could get a little bit more back as far as in crypto, and that's good news. So again, congratulations, a long time coming, thank God. And that's it for today. So look, like today's video, give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing. Everything we talk about is time sensitive. Take off, it's Saturday, enjoy the day. That's it. So thanks everybody, I appreciate it.